Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome to the One Perspective to Another podcast. I am your humble, gracious, highly favored host, A. Sanders, here with episode 149 of my fucking podcast. It's been a minute. This episode is titled, I think I'm going to title it Revamp, Reboot, Reset. Life circumstances, driving change, new beginnings. Insert title. Because it's been a while. It's been some time since I've been on here. It's been some time since I've put my words into the great existence of the universe. But I'm back now. I'm back. Took time off because at first it was Apple playing with my money and didn't want to give me my earnings from my work. But that whole podcasting thing, it's been a trickle effect of a learning experience. And then I lost my grandmother, so it was just about grieving and processing and still processing. But then also finding a new way to learn how to grow, to reroot. Learned a lot about plants recently, so it's just like plants, trees, just I've always been intrigued by nature, but I never grew or rooted my own plants, if that makes sense. But it's been a very interesting experience to see it from multiple perspectives. But also too, like I wanna get back into it because I kind of miss it. It gave me a foundation of consistency, not only for myself, but of just bringing my perspective. It helped a lot of people. It changed a lot of my conversations. It's not meant for everybody, and I completely understand that. But for the people that it is for, I appreciate you listening, uh, taking the time to listen, asking to want to be on, and I'm putting out the collection plate for all them people who said that they wanted to be on here, and we're gonna start doing that also this year. The first episode is actually gonna be with a very special guest. I didn't know my podcast affected him in that way, but it's cool to see and interesting. It's gonna be a good conversation, but we'll talk about that. It'll probably be the next episode. So, and calling out all them people, not all them people, but just if you want to be on, then come be on, have a conversation, talk about your perspective. But back to that, or back to me. It's not about making things pretty anymore. It's not about trying to be what I'm not supposed to be or what I am. The goal in everything, I feel like just moving forward, is just being at peace. So I was having a conversation with a very cosmic person, and it just came up in conversation. When people say perspective, it always just like goes ding dong in my head, but it just made me think back to like, yeah, like, perspective is key, but the aha moment is balance is key, and it always has been. Like, peace is priceless. What does it take for you to get your peace? And that is something that I'm reflecting on and changing and gearing towards and understanding my own, because this past, I guess, 3 years dealing with COVID and just the world and things changing from NFTs and influencers to being influential, just the things that I gravitate towards that intrigue my mind, and learning about new things and learning about new experiences. Like, those have been the catapults in conversations with people, and not only just people, but within my mind. That's just how I operate, because not everybody has that cookie cutter mentality of it has to be perfect. Some people just go out and do shit. But like, when you sit with yourself and look for your own peace, like, where do you find that? Where are you getting that from? Where do you start? And that's what I want to dive more into, of finding my peace. Because for me personally, like right now, it's been just taking my time. And a lot of the time, I'm the person telling people that they need to practice patience. And now, full circle, I'm the one who has to practice patience. I'm the one who has to be content with not moving at an extraordinary speed. I'm still looking for wood to build the house. I'm still getting the documents. I'm still doing all the little things. Like before, you just get out there and you just build shit. But times have changed. I've changed. People have changed. A lot of things have changed, and it's just adapting. What do they say? Adapt or die. So we're pretty much in there right now, but it is what it is. But in my journey in that and practicing patience and dealing with grief, it brought back a lot of interesting emotions of feeling like you are alone, feeling like you don't really have a place or a home, I guess you could say, because we're personally dealing with grief. Like my mom was my world, my grandmother was like my soul. So like not having either is like not having a home in the sense of like not a physical home, but we always talk about intangibles of home, not having the unconditional place to go to ask, like a great sage or something, because that's how I feel like I am. But rebuilding, I know I used to talk about it a lot when I talked about my mom, is having a blueprint. And the blueprint, I've built a lot. I've built, I think, something that I really enjoy, and like it's still all connected, but like OPTA is that blueprint, and that's why it's revamp, reboot, reset, because I'm rebuilding, I'm revamping, and I'm resetting what that blueprint is to be more efficient, to understand, and be more equipped to handle not only myself, but how I project the world, how I project OPTA, what I want OPTA to be, what I want Perspective Productions to be, what I want all the things that I do to be. Like, it's important that um, I don't know the word for it, but it's important that I find peace in what I'm building, because at the end of the day, like, if I'm just in it, or whoever I want to be in it with me, or whoever wants to come on the journey, like, I don't want it to be a waste of time, because I've seen a lot of people, especially with this hype, or just around just seeing the end process. Like, people put in years of work into their craft, into their goals, into their aspirations, and people just see the end result. And it's a beautiful thing when you are at the start and you got that blueprint and you start building, to be at the end and see people say, "Oh, you just lucky. Oh, you're just so popular right now." Like, but seeing people who really put in that work, that shit is like fucking beautiful to see. And it's a never ending process, but it's still beautiful to see the at least a partial result of what they've been building, if they're done or not. And also too, with that, it's not about it being the most beautiful and the most brilliant thing, because everybody's version of greatness isn't isn't like, it's not Michael Jordan, it's not sports. It's somebody's greatness could be fucking not being a fucking alcoholic anymore, or being the best parent, or being the best sister, or being the most proficient at fucking reading books, reading a book a month. Like, it's them little things that make people great, and um, we take those things too lightly. And I think it's more, in my opinion, about perspective, is knowing that yes, everybody is different and we are together, but we separate ourselves because we all have different cultures within ourselves. I don't mean ethnicity culture, I mean cultures of our spirit, our souls, our human. Like, we're all very different. We all have a very important story to tell. Whether you think you do or you don't, you show it with your actions, you show it with your character, you show it with how you treat people. Like, sometimes I just think maybe life is deeper than rap. Shout out Rick Ross. Because sometimes it is, but not everybody wants to go there, and that's perfectly fine too. But like I said, for the people who do want to go there, that's where I feel like I'm gearing this podcast up for this go around, episode 150, 150 episodes. It's a lot of fucking episodes. But like, you go back and listen to old episodes and go listen. I know somebody's been listening. At least a couple hundred people have been listening like my old shit. But I appreciate you if you've been listening to this new one too. Um, like I said, I want to get more guests on. I want to get real conversations because I don't like that surface shit. I really don't. I want to know. I want to know what makes you go. I want to know what makes you tick. I got a lot of people that I want to ask. It's just one dude on Instagram. He on TikTok too. I want to get him on because he's really direct with his words and the things that he wants to say to people, and it's really powerful because I want to be more direct, and I want him to share his stories about how he talks about the things he talks about too. Because like I just literally just explained, it's about other people's perspectives and how they see shit. Because we can't see everything, man. Sometimes we need help. Sometimes we need support. Sometimes we need a helping hand, and not a crutch, because it won't last forever. But just true support. So, with that being said, on to this new year. We are in 2022, episode 149. I hope that this is the start of something new and something great. 150 times I'm about to do this, and I don't know how many more times I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try my best to keep it going. So, as always, it's just my perspective. I almost forgot my catchphrase of tell two friends to tell two friends. And tell your two friends if they want to come on and talk, to come on and talk. Express yourself, your perspective. As always, it's just my perspective. And I will catch you on the flip side. Oh, and we going bi-weekly, so it's going to be 2 episodes a month, not every week. But it may depend on how I feel or where my time is or what I feel like doing. I don't want to put myself on too much of a schedule, but you know what it is. But on that note, I'm officially out. We'll catch you on episode 150 with a special guest, and I'm out.